Like initially when it happened, I was scared out of my mind. But then I thought about it, I was like, this was for a great purpose. So at that point, all fear went out the window.
The scene of the story is about 2 years ago when George Floyd was murdered by a police officer. The country went into an uproar. It sparked protests around the United States because another black man had been murdered at the hands of police.
That morning, I actually didn't plan on going to the protest, but I decided to go because since I was down there, I was like, I'll just spend my day, doing that. We had an initial meeting where we all kind of gathered around. It was a small group of us, and we kind of talked about our concerns and the changes that we wanted to see and the things that we have already seen and dealt with. By the afternoon, we were marching. The chief of police was marching with us. Soon after that, as we were walking back towards the police station, that's when we saw the SWAT team and everything lined up.
This was a protest that was not violent at all, at least not on part of the protesters.
About 125 people, man. Just lock all of them up and be done with it.
Yeah.
They ain't a party till the transport van comes out.
In Myrtle Beach, they had enacted a curfew, but did not actually notify protesters that there was a curfew being enacted in the city.
Man said make arrests. Let's go.
They started arresting people.
Hey, get back here!
People were actually walking away. Of course, they're heated, they're mad, they're not gonna walk fast. There's emotion involved. So walking back to the cars, and all of a sudden you get people pulled out of cars, you get people slammed on the ground. Pure craziness. I have never been arrested before. They booked me into jail, got all my information, and I sat in the cell for hours. I think it was about 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning I sat in there. I had no idea what to do. It took me a few months before I actually got in touch with the lovely law firm, but I finally did, and they handled it. I had no worries throughout that whole thing.
As we started with the trial and you're watching the jurors' faces and you play the video, you can see on the jurors' faces their outrage and their shock that this was even happening.
These are officers that I work with every day, that I see in court every day. And I've never been so disappointed in a group of people in my whole life.
They called and told me that I didn't have to go, everything was dismissed. And immediately when I got off the phone, I just burst out in tears. It was really emotional. I feel like crying right now, just thinking about it.
It makes you sad that it ever happened to begin with. That if we had not fought and did all the things we did, then nothing would have ever came to light. All of our clients would have never had any kind of justice. They would have just felt victimized again. Just like we watched George Floyd be victimized, they would just feel victimized again. And that is more than my heart can handle.
We're losing more and more freedoms in America. And when the government oversteps and goes too far, you can call the lovely law firm Injury Lawyers.